Don't assume his intent. That's what I was told at the end of a meeting when I expressed frustration over the way someone said something. And yet, there was an assumption about what I was thinking and my intention, and there was another lack of awareness of the source of this problem in the first place. How do you deal with the challenges of people misconstruing your intentions, blaming you, and then acting like you're the bad guy when maybe it's not all your fault? I'm Latia, and I'm on a journey of self-discovery and understanding myself and my relationship to the world. A lot of people tend to get upset with me and frustrated, and they act like I'm the problem and dump their crap on me. And usually I accept it, but I'm tired of being a scapegoat. That's not my role. I was never meant to take the blame for other people and their problems. I just chose to, because you can learn so much more when you're open to being wrong and taking responsibility and finding ways to create solutions and understanding, instead of being someone who just throws blame around and makes people feel guilty for being who they are. So at work, there was a meeting, and within the meeting, there was a sacred container, and someone called someone out in particular for something that they said and expressed that they were frustrated about it. And it was something that is typically given to women. So in the moment, I'm like, this is your share time. This is not the space for me to express my frustration at this. And I'll wait till after, because the comment was around taking up space. It's like, you don't take up enough space, so do this thing to practice taking up space. And for me, who has read about in middle school how women are taught to be small, taught to not take up space, and it's treated as though it's a problem when we don't take up space because you're small or you're slim or you're just not as powerful as a man, or you're not as loud and obnoxious as some of those people who force their ways to take up space. Because sometimes those loud people who take up the space and take attention are jerks. They're rude, obnoxious, self-centered, and they don't understand how to be aware of other people. And so why would we reward them for that bad behavior? That's not right. It's not fair. So I expressed my true statement, my true thoughts and feelings about this after the fact. And then someone else was like, don't assume his intent. And then the person was like, well, it turned out well. And then some other third person who was not even around at the time of the event nor anything was like, yeah, don't be mean to him. And it's just like, well, let's, like, sure, whatever. I'm being mean to a white male in American society. That's really having an impact, guys. Like, that's really what our problem is. Like, these white men, they just don't get enough space to honor what they feel is right or wrong. So, of course, I'm upset, but I'm just like, you know what? F all y'all. I don't care. It's not really my conversation to have. I was just trying to say that just because someone thinks you don't take up space doesn't mean you don't take up space, because let's face it, if you have a freaking body, you're taking up space. You may not be like a powerful presence, but if you're a woman, especially a white woman, you just don't know how to. Like, you're so detached, it's like a detriment. Like, when I think of white women, I do think frail, can't stand up for themselves, kind of small, really annoying, very naggy. I don't have a positive opinion of white women, and I also don't like to argue with them, because it just goes down this rabbit hole of just like nonsense where it's just like, whew, geez, that was such a waste of my time and energy. Because at the end of it, you're gonna still be a white woman who can just go back to her white friends and be in the circle of, let's be ignorant and have fun. Oh my God, I can't believe this girl was trying to argue with me about this nonsense. And it's just like, yeah, because like, it's real. Like, the difference between a white woman and a black woman is that white women have the privilege of being damsels in distress, where black women are either gonna be a mammy and treated like, you're so strong, you can handle all my problems, or we're treated like, oh, you're so strong, like you can do this, or you're a jerk. It's like, there's no room for black women to just be human, be honest, be real, be emotional, be whole. And I'm kind of tired of it, because it's like I keep getting made out to be the bully. There's another situation. I was at this program for women, and I was the third person in line at the start of the day. By the time we make it inside, you know, other people come in, things get shuffled, but I'm still towards the front of the line. I have to go to the bathroom, And some white women that I know, I'm like, hey, could you hold my stuff? Because if you hold my stuff, people are more likely to believe that I was here than assuming that like we're holding spaces and being childish. But like, because like I haven't seen y'all in forever, and this is our first time actually being near each other and talking. And they're like, no, you can keep it. And then I'm like, bad idea, but what the fuck ever. It's just getting into this godforsaken space that I really don't care for, but showed up to anyways. So I go to the bathroom and I come back and I'm like, excuse me, I want to stand by my friends. No, we're not gonna let you. Little white woman, a bigger white woman, both old. They are like 40s, if not 50s, 60s. And if they're younger than that, they look old as shit. And this just facts. Just sagging skin. So I'm like, hey, I was standing with my friends, went to the bathroom, I'm trying to stand with them. You can sit with them inside. I don't sit by my friends. I've known them since last year mastery, and we don't sit together. I sit by myself or around new people. So then it's like, I'm like, well, you're not the guardian, so I can walk around. And they're like blocking. And then they're like, she's pushing. So I'm like, you have 20-something black woman who becomes the bad guy with these freaking old, childish, immature white women. So I'm just like, are you okay? Like, this is weird and ridiculous, outrageous. So then my friends, like, you know, like the leader of the program walks by and people are partying. I'm like, hey guys, they're not letting me through. And then they get into it, and then they're trying to push and elbow their way through. And I'm like, I don't know what ignorance has been triggered within you, but Jesus Christ, what? I don't even understand. So I'm just like, at first I'm mad. I see one of my friends, I'm like, hey, man, you won't believe these bitches, they suck and blah, 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 and F them and blah, 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 and I can't believe this, and I just wanted a good day, and I was the first motherfucker here, blah. So I'm just like mad. Then I see another lady, and I'm like, you know what? It's okay, it's cool. Like, I'm frustrated, I'm annoyed, I hate that I was attacked, but like, whatever, we good. And then she's like, saying, I'm a goddess. And I was like, I'm a goddess. Like, get the fuck away from me. I forgot you're annoying. You're like, she reminds me of my grandma. I love my grandma, but I'm just like, ooh, no, not the energy I'm wanting. Don't tell me to go to Jesus and like read my Bible. Not about it right now. So then I go to one of my friends who is a gorgeous, strong, powerful white woman that I love and adore. Like, she is just, I love her. She is like someone that I really, there are a few people that I love being around, and I love being around her. And so I see her and I just hug her and I cry and I just let it out, just cry, because I realize I always get treated like the bad guy, or I'm wrong, or I violated someone's rights. And all I want to do is love people and have fun and be playful and just really enjoy life. And it feels like I'm not allowed to do that. It's like, if I speak the truth that other people were thinking, they probably felt exactly the same way, now I'm the bad guy. But then if I don't say something, then I'm also the bad guy. So literally at this job, I've spoke up and I'm like, hey, I don't like that this person did that. That's kind of fucked up. Wow, I can't believe that you would say that that person did a great thing, and if he hadn't done that, then she wouldn't be here, and that was so great. Okay, cool, honor the meanness if you want, I don't care, like, I can handle it. Then there's, wow, that blank stare you had was so aggressive. Like, I just assumed you didn't know what was going on. And it's like, no, it was a very intentional blank stare, because you're my boss and I don't want to be like, yeah, we just talked about this. Stop asking me about things that we just agreed not to talk about. So instead, I just let you sit there and like, let's just enjoy this awkward moment that you've created with your stupidity and your ignorance and your dumbness, because clearly you just can't understand. Let's not talk about this. I will show you in our next meeting. Well, let me ask about, no, we don't ask about that. We just agreed we're not going to speak about that. So, stop. So, for me, it's like, I'm in this interesting position where I'm like, all right, hate my job, hate the people there, I hate everything. I hate everyone. Like, some days I hate white people, some days I hate black people, some days I just hate myself. I'm just like, oh, if I could get out of my body and just like take a break, I would. And I know I can't. And also, freaking gorgeous body, why would I? But at the heart of it, it's just like, there are all these situations that happen, and I'm the only person bold enough to speak my mind without filtering. Like, I don't think someone should be told that they don't take up space or make that a reason for them to do something. Like, there's other ways to express it that aren't sexist in nature. even though I know I'm a very sexist person, I don't like women in a general sense. I don't like black women or white women. I have a very particular subset of women that I enjoy engaging with. They're usually very strong, very mature, very accepting of me and who I am, and they don't correct me. Because like at the end of the day, like I don't need you to correct me. You're not my mom, you're not my parent, and I'm freaking wiser than you would give me credit for. So if you're here to correct me or fix my behavior or change what I say, screw you. Like, I don't care. Like, I say things that sound ignorant because I've done the research and I understand that the reason why we have stereotypes are heuristics. It's a lot easier to say this white person than to say, well, this person who has like blonde hair and like, you know, pale skin and, you know, they're like raised in Orange County and they're a little bit like sheltered, if you will. She's like, no, you say white person, like, oh, okay, got it. There's a certain level of understanding that most people, white people have. And then even when you say white people, you can also be like, oh, super conscious, super woke, they get it. And that's a specific subset. Because even within the people who get it, there are people who still don't get it. So like in this program where she's trying to create equality among all women or people who identify as women, she also had the audacity to say, oh, doing this thing is much harder for a white woman than a black woman. And it's like, skirt, you don't know what it means to be a black woman, which is another layer of things, because like in the tower of power in society, white man's up top, white woman, black man, black woman. We get all the crap. We get the crap that you get for being a woman, we get the crap that you get for being black, and we get additional crap just because like people are so confused about us. They're like, oh, we hate you. And it's like, no. You just hate that I'm a no and I honor it. You hate that you think my body is just sexual for you and it's just how I move because I'm grounded. And there's just so many distortions in the way that we see each other and ourselves that it's like, so I end up being the bad guy. This guy who was originally the bad guy because so let's go to the source. This person says, this person told me that I don't take up space, do a presentation. I'm like, wow, that's rather rude and presumptuous of this person to say that you don't take up space and need to do that. And then all of a sudden, other people are like, wow, why would you, like, don't assume his intent. Oh yeah, what he did was great. Yeah, I grew so much from it. And then it's just like, cool, I don't care. I'm glad you grew from it. Keep letting people say stupid ass shit to you to make you feel like you're a better person. That's great. I'm happy for you, I guess. But I'm just bothered because I keep getting made out to be the bad guy when I'm just the bold one who's not afraid to express my truth without shame or fear or guilt, because what I have to say is important and my message is going to get out there. So whenever things go wrong, I would say breathe, just accept whatever is coming up for you in that moment, the frustration, the annoyance, and then give yourself space to process. Like, sit back and be like, so what did happen? What didn't happen? Did I assume intent? Yeah, I know I was assuming his intention, but I've also worked with this person and I have my own preconceived notions about them and I'm aware of that. But they also assumed my intention and decided to attack me and stand up for him. So now it's becoming a blame and shame game instead of understanding, because people don't ask questions. Like, I understand my frustration and I can express it. And I'm not ashamed of being upset or ignorant, because like, we're human. We all judge, and if you say you don't, I think you're a liar. And if you say you've practiced it out yourself, still think you're a liar. But cool, I'm glad you've gotten to a level of judgment that is acceptable for you so you can feel like you don't judge people. I feel like it's natural to judge people. I feel like we're doing it all the time. Like, how else would I know I'm a black woman? I wear glasses. Like, we call these things, like, they're all just matter. We've decided to give them names and distinctions, and then we get mad at ourselves for using them. You hurt my feelings, you're a jerk. Okay, they hurt my feelings. Maybe they're not a jerk. Maybe it was a bad moment. Maybe it's something within me that's being triggered. It can be a dialogue. We can't keep leaving frustration as frustration and blaming others. Sometimes we have to like sit back and understand it's a personal problem. Like, I need to work on myself. I get upset and I do see a therapist and he's like, don't let him hook you. And more of me is like, let's get hooked. I feel most alive when I'm upset and I'm mad and I want to punch someone in the face. I'm just like, yes, I'm alive. I'm a woman and I'm whole and I'm fierce and I will F you up me, because that's how I am. I am feisty, outspoken, opinionated. I am intelligent, and like probably that too smart for my own good, because what's a trigger for me becomes inquiry, whereas what's a trigger for other people becomes something that they fight. And so for me, it's like, if you upset me directly, it's like, oh, well, that's interesting, tell me more. And then once I get to a point where I'm satisfied with what I've heard, and I'm like, okay, that is a you problem, that's great, you do you. Whereas like, if it's a me problem, then it's like, okay, like, what is this bringing up? Wow, that's interesting. Like, I see the patterns I'm living into and the things that I'm not overcoming. But life is life. It's cyclical. It's not like straight line. It's like you're gonna keep coming around to the same things, realizing it's just you. And as we grow and evolve and can take ownership of our frustrations and set healthy boundaries with them, so get triggered, learn about your trigger and yourself in it, and then set boundaries. It's a simple process where we can start owning our stuff and standing up and advocating for ourselves, because we don't always have those voices who are letting us know that we're okay, but we are. That's why we have communication, so we can clear things up, not just spread blame. So check out some of my videos, comment below with any ways you've been triggered or if you're upset with someone. Like, I just want you to comment about who upsets you, what they do, what they did, because like, I love angry stories. Like, people who vent, that juices me up. So like, please get mad, rage, get mad at me, I don't care, it's great. Like, let's have fun with this, and I'll see you next time.